Here, juggling a few things, but we are here on Monday morning, April 26th, 2021, and we begin a new energy today. We're in Hod, so we'll have a week of Hod. I think that's good for this week. What do you say?
Okay.
Hod is good. And we're finishing actually chapter 1 today. We finished chapter 1. Chapter 1 ends with Mishnah 18 and also kind of a postscript and a postscript of Pirkei Avot. So Mishnah 18, which is really kind of sums it all up, and then a little postscript, kind of an epilogue to chapter 1. So a lot of important things happening. An ending to chapter 1 of Pirkei Avot and a beginning of a week of Hod. So welcome, glad you're with us, and we are about to begin with a Mishaberach, with a healing prayer. It's important to do everything you can, you know. I mean, we don't know how healing prayers work, or if they work, or what they do. But
work is the wrong word.
Work is the wrong word. They don't work. It's not that they work.
Right.
It's
a sensitization.
Right. It's an opening.
At least.
It's an opening.
It's at least there.
It's how you explained how the scapegoat works, right? You just open to it. You open to the ritual. And you know, it's like naming. It's naming too. It's just naming something.
Yeah, put words to it.
Right. The right words. Naming.
Externalizing.
Yeah, that's nice.
Internalizing and externalizing.
Okay.
Both.
I get that. I get that.
I know you get that.
I do. I get that. Yeah, right.
Who are you talking to?
Talking to you.
Oh, I see. Sometimes you forget who you're talking to, you know, because
I know.
there's people there's
Right.
people there, but we're really just talking to each other,
Yeah.
in a sense.
In a sense, yeah.
I mean, that's what it feels like for me.
Right.
Hand me the
Water?
yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. So let's offer that Mishaberach. Call upon the angels. I do believe in angels. Harry explained to me how it works. He says one day we'll all come back after we die. Told me that this morning. And I said, well, will we remember? He said, no, you'll have a different name and you won't remember, but you'll come back. He's 5.
He's 5.
So
That's a good.
I'm not sure where he heard that or if he just knows it, but that's what he knows. He tells me things early in the morning.
That's a good last line for that story.
Yeah.
He's 5.
He's 5. Yeah. Oh, Jimmy.
Cynosure. That's a good cynosure.
And we'll leave it at that. Just leave it at that.
Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, for the healing of the spirit, the healing of the body for those we know, for those we don't know, for those we know, for those we don't know. On my right, the angel Michael, on my left, the angel Gabriel. In front of me, the angel Uriel. Behind me, Raphael. Above my head, Shechinatel. Michael, who is like God. Gabriel, God is my strength. Uriel, God is my light. Raphael, God is my healer. Above my head. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim, blessed are you, great healer. Ve'arevna Adonai et yirei torecha b'finu.
That healing
V'fi amcha
flows into learning.
Beit Yisrael.
So a prayer for learning.
Make the words of your teaching pleasant on our lips, the lips of all of those that come into our screens, so we can spend our time in learning for pleasure, and for its implications in our lives. כולנו ידי נהיה אנחנו בצאצאינו בצאצאי עמך בית ישראל. We might learn something, become an influence, a mashpia. What we know becomes what we do. מעשה ידינו, the works of our hands, כולנו ידי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. All of us learning this way, becoming, learning, becoming, for purity, for cleansing. Baruch atah Adonai melamed Torah le'amu Yisrael. Blessed are you who teaches to your people in this fashion.
Beautiful. Oh, learning. So this is Mishnah 18, and as you know, 18 is a holy number, so I have a feeling that's why they end with 18, even though there is a postscript that could have been 19, but it's not. This is Mishnah 18. And 18, you know, is Chet and Yud, which spells the word Chai. And if you add up the letters Chet and Yud, you get 18. So Rabban Shimon. So in 17, Shimon was just Gamliel's son. Today in 18, he's Rabban Shimon. So he got a promotion since yesterday.
Or yesterday was a different person.
You think?
That could be too. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
Both? Oh, maybe. Because it only says Beno in 17.
Right. I mean, you know.
Could be. It's a mystery. Okay, so Rabban Shimon, ben Gamliel, Rabban Shimon, the son of Gamliel, Omer, he says. And remember the first Al Shlosha Devarim on the world stands, right? Ha'omed, in that first Mishnah, Torah, Avodah, Gemilut Hasadim, learning,
Here,
worship, and it's different, and acts of loving kindness. But this is not the world stands. This is the world is preserved. So it's not an either or. It's an and. The world stands on those things and is preserved by these things. You'll love this. So how is Kayam? How is the world preserved? Emet, ha-emet, the truth. So there is truth. It's not, there are certain truths that are not subjective, right? There are truths that are true. It's ha-emet. It's a non-subjective, an objective truth, ha-emet. And the second one is al-hadin. All right, so din is not, it's not tzedek, right? Even though it's usually translated as justice, it's din, it's judgment. And what does that mean? So din is the law, and when the law is unjust, you can't have justice, right? So you have to have a system that is just. If you have a system that's not just, you think about the Holocaust, right? They followed the law. The law was not just. We talk about systemic racism and the way that law enforcement is trained to act. It's a bad system. It's a bad law. It's not a just deen. So it's not the kind of deen that makes for justice, right? So al-hadin. And then finally, al-shalom. And on wholeness. On wholeness. I think that's it. I think that's what you just have to say on peace is wholeness. As it is said. As it is said, okay? As it is said. So it doesn't end there. Administer truth and the justice of peace in your gates. From Zechariah 8:16. Administer truth and the justice of wholeness to everyone, justice to everyone. B'sharichem, in your gates, right? In your gates. In your gates. Wow. So good, isn't it?
This is the first one that has a text attached to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Zechariah text.
Mm-hmm.
And this postscript, which isn't given a number of Mishnah, but it's tacked on here as a conclusion. It's almost an epilogue. Rabbi Hananiah, the son of Akashia, says, Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? The Holy One, desired to make Israel worthy, and so gave us Torah and commandments in abundance. And here is a quote from Isaiah. God was pleased for the sake of righteousness to magnify and glorify the Torah. So what does it take to magnify and glorify? If you believe that the Torah, the teachings of Torah, are meant to kind of bring equity, level the playing field, bring the kind of deen, judgment that leads to tzedek, that leads to justice, that will eventually lead to shalom, that's all based on truth, then, all will be glorified, right?
Yeah, this is interesting. This is stuck here. This is taken from another place and tacked on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
This Rabban Gamaliel here was, I think, the father of, Yehuda Hanasi, I believe. Let's see if I can, it should tell me here.
What I love about these Mishnayot that we've studied up until now, they all have practical application for everyday life. It's a tone setter for everyday life, for ethics, for living every day ethically, so you can be a moral person. Right?
Yeah, and also I think there's a place in the Talmud where it says that these are kind of like if there is, or when there is truth, there might be judgment, and when there is the right judgment, there might be peace.
It's a big task. It's a big task, but everything is a big task. Everything we have to do as human beings seems big, doesn't it? But if you just take it a step at a time, if you do one right thing, just do one right thing. We wake up in the morning and we say, Modeh Moda Ani, thank you for returning my soul to me today, so I can serve you one more day with holiness. That's all we got.
Counting.
That's all we can be. So that's why we count every day too, right? We count every day to make every day count, because that's all we can be sure of.
We're in the 5th week now.
Right.
Of the counting. Today is day...
Wow. And there's only 7 weeks. Can you believe
29.
we're already in the 5th week?
So we're in the next energy. This week is given over to the energy of Hod, which is a little bit of a pulling in a little bit. It's a time for gratitude and humility. We've lost some of the panache, the confidence of last week of Netzach, and we move into more humility, gratitude, Hod. The week of Hod, some sort of beauty dependent. How difficult was it last week, that elusive triumphalism we felt, or the absence of? Do not think of it independently from this week, Hod. They are bonded together more than other dyads in the Sephirotic system. More than the two above, for example, Chesed and Gevurah. They're closer together, these two, Netzach and Hod. Look ahead. What was missing last week may appear this week.
Nice.
Or together they may make a unity that will be expressed through next week.
Right.
Next week, Yesod, physical, dynamic, generative, expressing spiritual realities through the flesh. Flesh expressing through the spiritual. Yeah. Make it a spiritual experience.
Right.
Chesed, love, Gevurah, restraint, Tiferet, beauty. Netzach, you think you know. Hod, you don't. Yesod, foundation in the body. Malchut, the spigot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Hayom tisha v'yasrim yom she'em arba'a shvuot v'yom echad la'omer. Today is day 29 of the Omer, which is 4 weeks and 1 day of the Omer. 4 weeks and 1 day of the Omer. April 26, 2021. Bless our president, our vice president, our mayor, and all their noble retinue. The counting of the Omer is taught by Randy Newman, Paul Simon, Joni Prince, Richard Thompson, and Ben Bagbag. Fountains, its origins, love, chesed, loving kindness overflowing, negotiations by Gevurah, restraint, lifted up and balanced into Tiferet, beauty. With Netzach this time ready. Second pass, you think you know, you don't know. Looking for soul in Hod. Settling into synthesis, Yesod in your slacks. With Malchut, the spigot is yours. Turn it. Don't turn it.
So, we finished chapter 1 of Pirkei Avot. We begin this next week of Hod. And today, they kind of all come together. And we hope it's a good day, a day of light, a day of lift, a day where each of us is able to serve in holy ways. And Nimir Tzah Hashem, inshallah, we'll be back tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us.